Despite their diminutive size, children occupy a considerable amount of space, particularly if you live in a small New York City apartment. The jigsaw puzzle that becomes your home grows only more complicated with each additional child. If you house siblings together in a shared bedroom, you find yourself constantly reinventing the space to make room for more stuff, and larger people. Out go the toddler beds, in come the bunks. As the children grow, you wonder what will happen when they, say, need a desk. Or worse, what happens if they should want a room of their own. It's a real evolution. You get an apartment and you get your head stuck in how things should be, said Jessica Vitkus, 51, who lives with her boyfriend, Stephen Murello, 54, and her twin 4-year-old daughters in a 2-bedroom condo in the Cristodora house in the East Village. Once you have kids, you really have to open up your mind about how to use space and where you put people. When they were first born, Sadie and Matilda Vitkus slept in the master bedroom with their mother, Ms. Vitkus, a TV producer. But then, when the twins were about 10 months old, Ms. Vitkus began dating Mr. Murello, a director of photography for TV. The girls were soon shunted to the second bedroom, which had been my groovy entertaining den and guest room, Ms. Vitkus said. But those days are over. Now, with their 5th birthdays looming, Sadie and Matilda have outgrown their snug toddler beds. They offer not so subtle hints, saying things like, "Mama, I don't fit," Ms. Vitkus said. I say, curl up and be cozy. Be like a little bug. I try to spin it into a positive, but I know that I'm on borrowed time. Soon, Ms. Vitkus will have to figure out how to wedge 2 twin-size beds into the tiny room. Bunk beds would make the most sense, but who really wants bunk beds? They're tall, towering, and no fun for cuddling. Fights over who gets the top bunk are inevitable until, eventually, the kids outgrow the arrangement. At that point, stuck with an oversized and obsolete piece of furniture, you have to reorganize the room all over again. Reorganizing is just code for purging. The best thing to maximize your space is to organize and declutter, said Shailana Smith, the owner of Gaga Designs, a Los Angeles interior design firm for children's spaces. Ms. Smith often encounters unnecessary chaos in the homes of her clients. Literally, I walk in there and am like, "Do you still use this? No. Does your kid still play with this? No." A lot of things can leave your room. Clear out the excess, the theory goes, and newfound space will materialize. But space has limits, even if you acquire more of it. After living in cramped apartments with toddlers in Brooklyn and later New Jersey, my family stretched out to a house in the suburbs in 2013. With all that endless square footage, I snatched one of the 3 bedrooms for my office, since I work from home. My husband and I tucked the kids into the 3rd bedroom, and they were happy little peas, chattering away at night, and decorating their walls with their finger-painted projects. I figured I had years until they were old enough to notice that my serene office with 2 windows was actually a bedroom that one of them could occupy. When that time came, I'd relocate. To where, you might ask? I hadn't given that issue much thought. But now that the kids are 7 and 10, I can feel the day of reckoning upon me. They greedily eye my airy room, arguing about who will get it. My daughter has grand visions for a canopy bed and a night table with a butterfly lamp. My son simply wants his younger sister's nightlight to go away. But here's the monkey wrench to their plans. I do not want to be banished to the basement, the natural resting place for all things that have no place to go. So we have come to another phase of the endless reshuffling equation. Does the space we have still work? Or is it time for an upheaval? After all, children all over the world and for most of time have shared rooms with each other, and often their parents, too. This idea that everybody gets their own bedroom is a very new idea in history if you think about it, said James J. Christ, who wrote Siblings, You're Stuck with Each Other, So Stick Together with Elizabeth Verdict. The United States Census does not track how many children share bedrooms, nor does New York City. However, the 2014 New York City Housing and Vacancy Survey found that only 26% of the city's apartments had 3 or more bedrooms. With most New Yorkers living in smaller apartments, children clearly double up. The same survey also found that 8% of households with children under 18 were considered crowded, with more than 2 people per bedroom. But still, if there's an alternative to sharing, you start to wonder if you should indulge it. Experts, surprisingly, say maybe not. When kids share a space, there is going to be conflict, but that is not something that we have to seek to avoid, said Joanna Faber, who, with Julie King, wrote How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen. Leaving aside all the wonderful things about sharing a room, of which I think there are a mountain, conflict is an opportunity to practice skills. In other words, the bickering is good and so are all those late-night bedside chats. But children's needs change as they grow, even if the size of their room does not. Older children need desks for homework and privacy. The older one might need to study late, while the younger one still wakes early. To solve these problems, Ms. Smith suggested sacrificing the dressers to reclaim square footage for a desk. Get beds with built-in drawers, she said, or reconfigure the closet to fit shelves. As for privacy, how about an IKEA curtain room divider, kind of like a hospital curtain, but for your bedroom? A change in perspective also helps. It's not that they have to share a room, but they get to share a room, Ms. Smith said. That settled it for me. I'm staying put, although some bedroom redecorating may be in our near future. New Yorkers have a knack for making it work. Sky Khan, a writer whose Instagram page chronicles the adventures of a family of 6 living in the city, said her 4 children are literally packed in like sardines in the family's 2-bedroom apartment in Chelsea. Ms. Khan and her husband, Ben Flaman, who are both in their 40s, sleep-train their children in a closet. Now, the 3 younger ones, Kiki, 7, Sander, 6, and Quinn, 1, are tucked into a bedroom in the back. Quinn sleeps in what Ms. Khan describes as a Montessori tent, while Kiki and Sander share a tri-level bunk bed built by Mr. Flaman, who works in business development. They love it, Ms. Khan said. It's like a sleepover every night. As a 10th birthday present, Nash, the oldest, graduated to a windowless room, which Mr. Flaman constructed by adding temporary walls to the hallway. Nash's recent move gave his siblings new ideas about space. Even if no more exists, the 6-year-old just put 2 and 2 together a few days ago, Ms. Khan said, and asked for his own room. Ms. Khan dodged the request, reminding him that his older sister is next in line. As for now, we're just kind of winging it, she said.